Welcome to the newest installment of the Untitled Film Nerd Project. My name is Philip, and joining me as always is TJ.
Hello.
And for this episode, we watched Insidious: The Last Key. Before we get into it, spoiler warning now. If you want to avoid spoilers, skip ahead to the time code you see on the screen. TJ is going to be nice enough to once again do cast and crew for us because I'm not feeling too hot. So take it away, sir.
All right. So this is directed by Adam Robitel.
Mm-hmm.
And he had previously done Taking a Deborah Logan.
Such a good movie.
Yes. Personal favorite of both ours.
Oh, yes.
He was the writer for Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension. All right. And then on to the cast and crew.
Mm-hmm.
Or cast.
Mm-hmm. Some of which double as crew.
Yeah, true. We have Lin Shaye. She's been in all of them.
Yes. I like Lin Shaye.
Then we have Specs and Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
Specs is Lee Whannell, and Angus Sampson is Tucker.
Yeah.
Then we have Ted Garza, who's played by Kirk
Acevedo, I believe.
Thank you.
I know him from Oz, so I've kind of been a fan of his for years. And
he was in Sopranos, wasn't he?
I've never seen The Sopranos, but he might have been.
Then we have Imogen Raynor. That is Caitlin Gerard.
Okay.
Melissa Raynor, the sister, was played by Spencer Law.
Okay.
Did you recognize her?
No. Should I have?
She was Ione in Detention.
We're going to pretend I was possibly stoned when I watched Detention. All I remember is Josh Hutcherson was fucking sexy as hell.
Yes, true. Yes, 100% agree. She was the girl that switched bodies with her mom.
I don't.
And then ended up becoming her own mom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember any of that. So. We'll have to do a new series like when Philip was stoned, where we watch like movies that I just don't fucking remember because I was hypothetically maybe stoned.
Hypothetically.
Out of my mind when I saw it.
The father was played by Josh Stewart.
Yes, and he is from The Collector.
Yes.
I knew that watching it. I was proud of myself. And The Collection, I believe. He's in both.
And then we have her brother, the older version of him, which is Bruce Davison.
Yes.
Tons of shit.
Oh, yes. I recognized him immediately as well.
And then Keyface.
The incomparable. Yes, yes.
Javier Botet.
Yes, Javier Botet to me is Spanish Doug Jones.
Yes.
He is phenomenal. I love Javier Botet very much.
Which I don't agree with the naming of Keyface.
Yeah, that was kind of dumb. Like
Key Fingers.
Yeah, Key Fingers, Key Hand.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah. But he did a good job.
Key Holder would have been better. But we digress.
Yes.
And that's pretty much all the important people.
And Lee Whannell also wrote this screenplay. And he produced it. Thankfully, he did not direct this time.
That's interesting.
All right, so let's go with our initial reactions. I don't.
Yeah, that's
I mean, this is this is very average. Now, I will say I thought it was better than 3.
Yes,
I loathed 3. I loathed 3 so much that I pretty much stricken it from my memory banks. Even what like you take the migraine I have away, like if I'm normal me has like blocked part 3 out of my brain because it was so bad. So for being part 4, I want to give it a little bit of slack. I mean, it was very average, your run of the mill ghost story. I've seen way worse part 4s.
Yes, and my biggest problem is the same problem that I have with the third one. What was the narrative significance?
What do you mean? Well, like, what was the point of it all?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get they were wanting to go with the backstory, and I did kind of like that. I mean, kind of like almost kind of an origin story.
True, but
yeah.
Even the third one didn't go into the origins of Specs and Tucker.
I think it was just, honestly, I was taking the long route to go full circle back to Insidious 1 and 2 with the original people. I think, and here's the problem I have. These are the same people who made Saw and The Conjuring. You know, they are good. Insidious 1 and 2 impressed the hell out of me. Not only because they were a neat take on like a possession ghost story, but you have to watch parts 1 and 2 for the full story. Because part 2 is part 1 with like more stuff added in a good way. Like there's things that happen in 1 that you don't understand, and then 2 explains that. I thought it was really, really just great storytelling. And I think that's why I was really, really angry at 3 and disappointed with this, because they went from telling engaging stories, and they can. We're getting this, I don't want to say schlock, but this...
watered down.
They could do better than this.
Yeah.
And I get that James Wan was a producer, and so I don't think he had a hand in writing it all, and Lee's pretty much writing the entire story and directing part 3, which I will hold against him. And I'm just disappointed, because this is a series that started off so strong enough to stand on its own 2 feet in a genre that is, in a subgenre even, that is so saturated. They created a whole new subgenre of Saw, and then I won't say redefined, because they didn't, but they really breathed life into like the possession ghost genre.
Yes.
With Insidious 1 and 2, like the sequel was just as good as the original in my opinion, and to go to 3, which was just off a steep cliff. It was like 3 jumped off of a steep cliff, and then 4 they kind of just fell in the water and floated along.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the analogy I'm going to use. Like they were just floating along.
And it's a very good analogy.
It was very by the numbers. I knew when the jump scares were coming, thankfully.
Yeah. Thank you, fucking Blumhouse.
Hey, we didn't get the at the very end Bagul scare.
Yes.
I was waiting for it.
And I'm kind of curious if the only point of this was to introduce her niece, Imogen.
I think so, to take on
as a potential.
Yeah, to pass on the story, which that was, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a train coming off. You can hear it in the background. I apologize. We're going to talk through it.
Part of my other problem was how they handled the characters of Specs and Tucker.
There was way too much Tucker, not enough Specs.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I've had a crush on Lee since 2004. I mean,
yes,
14 years
totally
later,
agree.
14 years later, he is still cute as hell. And I don't need to see Tucker and his balding mullet thing. Like, ugh.
Well, and they took them from being awkward to being creepy awkward around women.
That's going to be in our breakdown later, when we do our breakdowns for me. So I'm going to save mine for that, but I totally agree.
Now, another thing that, to go along with how this doesn't bring back the same flair of 1 and 2, one of the things I always thought was cool of 1 and 2 was their own version of like ad hoc paranormal investigation.
Yeah.
Like her using that gas mask to communicate.
Yep.
And at no point do any of these origins have we seen even the origin of that, because I mean, you figure right there, where did you come up with the idea to use a gas mask to communicate to the other side? And this is still just average talking to the other side. Yeah.
I mean, there was a couple cool parts, but it was, I mean, when the movie starts and it says Blumhouse, I just kind of go, because I know what I'm in for most of the time. And this was very much a Blumhouse produced movie. And as much as I thank them for keeping horror alive,
yes,
on a larger scale, I think that they're the same people that did Sinister, which was great until the end.
Yes, and calm it with the combination of jump scares and loud
noise
audio.
Like, not every ghost movie needs a noise with it.
Yes.
Not. Thankfully, I knew they were. You just knew. You could, like I said, this was very predictable. And with some neat parts, but a lot of unnecessary stuff, including, I counted 4, if not 5, major jump scares. So, listeners, since we haven't gone full spoiler, on a lot of stuff. If you are still listening and haven't watched it, there are about 5 jump scares. And if you do not like jump scares like me, they will be easy to identify.
Yes.
All right, you want to go into our breakdowns?
Yes.
What was your favorite scene?
You go first on that one.
Give me a sec to look through my notes. I guess my favorite scene, because I thought it was pretty cool, was the first time that Keyface stuck his key into that girl's throat and locked it so she couldn't scream. That was cool. I thought that was one of the original unique things that I'd mentioned a few minutes ago. I liked that idea. I thought it was cool.
Yes.
Now, the other one of going into her chest and whatever, I didn't like that. But the initial one of the first time he stuck it in her throat and turned her voice off, or locked her voice, rather. I thought that was really cool. So that part of the screenplay, and I would give thumbs up to Lee on that one. I thought that was really cool.
For me, it wasn't so much as... I guess it was a scene, but there was one thing that I thought was cool, and that was when Tucker was using the audio boom mic thing.
Right.
And we were then only hearing Elaine. When we were hearing her talk through the audio of the boom mic.
Right.
Am I making sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It was like her audio was isolated.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. But yeah, I mean, and aside from that, it was several of the scenes with key fingers. But yeah, that's it.
Right on. Did you have a holy shit moment?
Probably the backhand that Elaine took from key fingers.
Right on. My holy shit moment was, I guess, when Specs squashed that dude's head with the dresser.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. Go you. Okay, let's go for it. Mediocre moment. So much. So much to choose from. It's like a cornucopia of mediocrity.
I guess for me, like, the most mediocre moment was so much of the third act. Anywhere from the hokiness of the mom showing up and being the one that beats key fingers to how the brother and sister reunited, and... like, I know you're going for the feels, but you're just not doing a very good job at it. Yeah,
I had to kind of. I'll hit that later. Something about the mom coming back. I did like that the whistle brought her back.
Yeah,
because it called back to blow this whistle and I'll be there for you from the beginning. I did like that, but I agree. The third act was, my biggest mediocre moment was the unnecessary trying to flirt with teenage girls, creepy ass subplot that you mentioned earlier that I was saving. It was so unnecessary and so fucking creepy. Lee, you're cute as hell, but stop writing yourself. They're like 17, 18. You're pushing 40. Like, I'm not saying age. I'm not going to get into that discussion. Like, May, December, do whatever you want. But it was so unnecessary to this story, and it was cringy. The dialogue, it was supposed to be, but it was cringy on top of being supposed to be cringy. And I just didn't like it. It felt gross. It
felt like a huge disservice to the two characters. And it felt like a huge disservice to Lane to just stand there and watch it happen to her nieces.
And then we get to the end, and then somehow he gets the girl.
Yes.
He didn't do anything. Tucker... yeah, just greasy and creepy and get a new haircut, my friend. I get that's the point of the character. I understand that. He's supposed to look like that. That's the character. But at the same time, it just did not work. The parts 1 and 2, they were just these aloof, comic relief kind of characters in a very serious movie.
Yeah, like I'm a huge fan of the two characters from the first 2 movies.
But man, it's almost like they just jumped the shark on the characters from 3 to 4, and just stop it. It was gross and unnecessary, and it's not believable. And I get we're in a what's the word I'm looking for? A realm of unbelievable things happening, but in the real world, you can't, it doesn't work. In that real world, it doesn't work. You want to go to the other side, whatever. You have free range to do whatever weird ass thing you want. But in like the real reality of Insidious, stop it.
Yes.
It was just gross, creepy, gross. I didn't like it. It just, it just stuck. It was like a sore thumb. It just stuck out.
It then made me extremely apprehensive of any interaction of them and either of the two nieces.
Yeah, it was just so, it just really dragged the movie down.
Mm-hmm.
It was so unnecessary, and I didn't like it. So that was my overall mediocre moment.
As I told you, I was rewatching the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because there were scenes that I'm like, where did those scenes go?
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, there's a few scenes that were in the trailer that were not in the movie.
Maybe they needed to make room for all the creepy ass dialogue from Specs and Tucker to the teenage nieces.
Yeah, there's like one of a creepy bald ghost.
Okay.
In the hallway that has all the jail doors.
Right.
And there's another scene of that same hallway that all the jail doors open and then all these other creepy ghosts come out.
Oh.
So that wasn't there. And then there's one where Imogen gets locked in a closet.
Okay.
And the clothes that are there, Keyfinger's hand comes out through the sleeve of one of those clothes. But that's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was kind of thinking to myself when, after Lin Shaye had, I guess, defeated Keyfingers, that I was like, go unlock all the other cells. There's a lot of people trapped there, at least hundreds. Help them. But no. If any, LOL moment.
I know they were trying to add some, but...
The awkward LOL moment. We're going to merge from mediocrity into LOL.
Can you think of any?
Yeah, I had one. It was when the mom hit Keyfingers with the lamp. And this is an LOL moment for me, because I wrote in my notes, it's the magic lantern of banishment. It made no sense. It was so dumb.
Yeah.
That's why when you mentioned it earlier, I was like, I have to save it, because it was so fucking stupid. Like, I like the mom returning and helping out. I like that. But the magic lantern of banishment made no sense. Why? There's a lot of whys in this movie. Why did that work? Why was the mom could do it? What magical powers did she have? And why? Why was the mom more powerful than anybody else that Keyfingers has killed? There's many more whys, but as it pertains to this scene, it was really freaking funny to me. It was like, pow, pew, and he just went away. And just apparently they won. So,
and we got a home run.
So I think in Insidious 5, when we return to the Insidious...
Like, I'm kind of wondering if it's going to start off with Specs and Tucker trying to contact Imogen and trying to get around the restraining order that she has against them.
Like, you guys are like 43. I just graduated high school. Like, where was that to be like, hey, fuck off? No. Sorry, Lee. You're cute as hell, but no.
Yeah.
No. Did you have an LOL moment or no?
I just can't think of any because all I keep on thinking about is the attempted LOL moments that were just
like the awkward hypnotizing scene and the awkward who's going to go search for the Bible scene and so much
somebody
of that.
Allowed themselves to be hypnotized real quick.
Yeah, and yeah.
There's some cartoon or movie where they're trying to hypnotize somebody and like the moment that they brought out the pin or whatever, the person fell asleep and was hypnotized.
That sounds stupid.
And that was the point.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Before they could even start the entire thing, the person was like gone.
Nice. Sounds like a scary movie kind of gag. All right, that's all of our notable parts. All the stuff that's my notes, but we can keep talking about the movie if you'd like.
Yeah, let's go through the notes because
it
might help me talk about the movie some more.
Right on. Okay, here we go.
Again, all I keep on thinking about, ew!
Yeah, it was like ew the movie. Insidious 5, The Restraining Order. That's totally going to be on the screen now. I'm making that. That's going to be a thing on the screen. You're welcome. All right. Philip's notes. Let's go to my notes. The entire time I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with her dad?
Yes.
Like, holy crap. I get it now, but damn. I mean, good job, Josh. They had the most unsafe basement ever. Just random live wires hanging from the ceiling. Why?
And I was trying to figure out that basement because that was huge.
Yeah.
Like, I know that there's such a thing as huge basements, but that seemed, it looked like a bomb shelter, which I'm kind of wondering if it was. Because there was that entire gas mask.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if they said, if they referenced something about that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that they referenced it being not a basement, but I can't speak on that 100%. Then I wrote that the big red door opens up a big pile of nope. 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 And at first I was confused because I was thinking to myself, why would it kill the mom and not the dad? But now I understand later on watching why.
Yes.
Well, sort of, even that doesn't make a... We'll get to that. It's in my notes. Then at first when she told them, Specs and Tucker, this one I have to do alone. I was like, no! Because I wanted to see more Lee.
Well, and that's what I was thinking too. And well, that and also, it's a very cliche thing. You know, I got to do this alone. Well, why?
Next scene, they come with their new dumb truck.
Yes.
Like, really dumb RV thing. But they were going, so I said yay. Because I thought I would see more Lee.
Possibly one of the most subtle trucks I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. I didn't get anything that hit me over the head at all from that scene. At all. If I hadn't have concentrated on it, I would have not even understood what the RV thing was for. So I'm glad that we were both sharp enough to pick up on that. He called his little camera the Winnebagost. I was like, why not call it a Ghost Pro?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so much better.
And I could understand calling the truck Winnebagost.
Yes. Lee just tried to write dialogue for him and Tucker that just made them sound witty, and it didn't.
Maybe he was going into the character a little too hard. Like he wrote it how Specs would have wrote it.
Keyword hard, because no, you do not get the girl at the end. For no reason. You didn't do anything. Good job, though, on casting the younger versions of Lynn Shay and her brother. Really good job. Both the little kid version and the teenage version. They were just well done. So good job on the casting. And then the dad says, no one else can possibly love someone like that. About his daughter. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, someone's a piece of shit.
Right? Okay, so she never thought to look for the keyhole when she lived there before? You were like, I'm just not going to go in the basement and search around that area again, because maybe there will be a keyhole there. Random woman is chained in the basement. At first I was like, so how long was she in there if the key is covered up? And I was like, does he have to uncover it each time he goes in and then recover it back up each time he leaves? How does that work?
Yeah.
She couldn't have been in there for 4 months and not been fed. Does he just have like a thing of plaster or something like by the door that we didn't see? Why? It's just unnecessary work. Just leave the keyhole uncovered. She's not going to get out. That bothered me. The detective brought it up after, but I was glad they did. But I also wrote, why would he even call her? Kirk Acevedo, his character. Why would he even call her to come? Because he's got to know that she would find the girl. Like, I mean, come on. I mean, that kind of bugged me. But then the detective asked it. I'm like, thank you, movie, for being self-aware. And I thought to myself, this was a potential mediocre moment, but the creepy grossness won by a landslide. Maybe don't take your daughters to the haunted house that killed your mom.
Yeah, to look for your toy whistle.
Yeah, just go there by yourself.
Yeah. Or buy yourself a whistle.
Yeah, there you go. So it's Melissa that had the powers?
Yes.
Okay. So, she's like, I can see things too. And then I wrote, well, you couldn't see your sister, could you?
Yeah.
Who was down in the fucking basement. Yeah, you can't see. No.
You can't see shit.
Exactly. Don't give me that bullshit. I can see things too. Where's your sister then, huh? Boom. Checkmate. Shut up. You're kicked off the fucking movie. Why couldn't we have like a cute guy been the next?
Why is it always got to be about you?
Yeah, you're selfish. Stop being so damn selfish, Melissa. God. And hey, in this movie, Lynn Shay solved a bonus mystery. So
yeah,
because this could have ended when she found the girl. She solved a bonus. She got like bonus XP from that one,
which is how she was able to take such a backhand.
Yeah, she leveled up. couple times. Then there was the part where her and Tucker were in front of that fan pipe thing.
Yeah, I was totally waiting for that thing to turn on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was the fake out they gave us.
Mm-hmm.
At first, he's like, stand back. And I thought, how chivalrous. Next scene, go for it. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
You're a dick. Because above I wrote, Daddy's a killer. Whoa. And then a few scenes later, like 5 more suitcases. Scratch that. Daddy was a serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. Okay, why open them in the creepy tunnel? Drag them out and open them.
I was thinking the same thing.
You were waiting for unnecessary jump scare number 4. This is number 4, by the way. Each time they kept teasing it. Close the lid. Nothing there. Open the next one. Nothing there. Close the lid. Nothing there. I was getting annoyed.
I was waiting for the Jaws music to come up.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. And yeah, then she goes through the suitcase door or something. I don't even know. That's to me is where the movie just, it started going down a whirlpool in the ocean that it's floating on, because you can't be made of water and be in the ocean at the same time. And they're like, someone needs to go in and save her after she gets trapped in the other side. And it's how convenient. Okay, what if she never met her nieces? What if she never ran into her brother? What if she never met his daughters? What if she never met them? Is she essentially fucked? That was way too convenient. That was another mediocre plot point to me, but not the mediocre one. It was just the introduction of the successor to Lin Shaye, who's going to fail miserably because as much crap as they give her, Lin Shaye acts her ass off.
Yeah, if you never would have wrote yourself in the corner in the first place, you wouldn't have to be worrying about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you never should have killed her off in the second one.
Exactly.
If you were just going to make every damn movie about her.
Yep. Exactly. I never was really explained why does Key Fingers need the men of the house to kidnap and imprison women?
Yes.
I liked the hallway of cells in the other side, but they never went anywhere with it.
Well, and also it doesn't explain, because at the beginning, it was talking about how it needs her to open the doors, needs her to open all the doors.
Which she doesn't do.
Was that the ghost of Anna that needed her to open the doors? And all the doors? Because otherwise, why would Key Fingers need her to do that? Because he has all the fucking keys on his fingers.
Yeah, and he's apparently has like dozens, if not hundreds, of people locked away.
Yes.
So,
I mean, I figured he could only have 10
for each
maybe
finger.
20.
Yeah, for each finger. Maybe it's like a skeleton key. I'm here all night.
I did love it when she stabbed him in the nose, and I'm like, huh.
Why?
Well, it just seemed so obvious. Okay. I wonder where this stick is going to go.
Okay, yeah. I thought, throw the fucking whistle closer to her. Like, what kind of bullshit throw is that? Here, take it. I'm going to throw it like 3 feet from you. Come on. You can throw a whistle. Sheesh. I think the coolest part of Act 3 was that, to me, and it just didn't do anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been a movie in and of itself. All these people locked away, reliving their most horrible traumatic memories so that this thing can feed off of their fear.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Yeah. Or it could have made for like a good reason why he chose the house, because it was a house connected to, a prison where they were frying people, and so all the people in the jail cells were inmates that had died.
Yeah. It had potential.
Yeah.
But they focused so much on trying to get to the finish line with this Lin Shaye story, undercutting it with jumping the shark bullshit, and yeah, it just fell flat. I mean, it didn't have a lot of steam to begin with, in my opinion. It wasn't a runaway train that just lost it in the final act. We've seen movies like that before. This was not one of those. Elise sees a random red door, opens it. Duncan is inside.
Yes.
Okay, I get that sort of, but there's also, again, dozens and dozens, if not hundreds and hundreds of doors. You were supposed to unlock them all, if I recall correctly. Go unlock them all. That's the point. That's the point of the fucking movie. There was at least 5 people that serial killer daddy killed.
Yep.
Plus, who knows how many more. People would argue, so that's not the point of the movie, but to me, when they're like, you need to unlock all the doors,
Mm-hmm.
Well, one could say, well, they weren't the red doors. Well, how do you know they don't lead to red doors?
Yeah.
The one red door of Duncan just kind of, I mean, I was taking notes, so I don't know if it just appeared there or where she kind of walked into it. I can't speak to that because I was taking notes. But it just seemed kind of random.
Mm-hmm.
And another lazy, convenient plot device in a movie full of them. And then we get to the end, and I wrote, the teenage sisters are all of a sudden into them.
Yeah.
I wrote about this like 4 or 5 times. I just skipped it because we talked about it. Okay, so Lantern, Key Fingers is gone. She reunites with her brother and her family. She's like, hey, I have family again. Bye. She just left. You were all on the other side, and you say this should be like a stupendous bonding experience.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in bond. Why? It seemed so abrupt. And I thought to myself, so they're just leaving? Let's get in our very subtle RV and drive away. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
It seemed like a lazy plot device to get her back home so she could have the dream vision about Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's about all for my notes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to keep in about it or final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
All right, here we go. Final thoughts. I guess if you're a fan of the Insidious story, check it out. But even then, I don't think it's necessary.
I think if you're a fan of a soda that's like your favorite soda, but then you don't mind drinking it flat.
Yeah. So yeah, if you feel like drinking flat soda, watch Insidious 4.
Yeah.
The flat soda. It's an awesome analogy. This movie managed to take the cool parts and ruin them.
Mm-hmm.
This series is just, since Insidious 1 and 2 had like ensemble cast.
Mm-hmm.
But 3 and 4, Lin Shaye carried these movies. And so, major props to her for that. Not the worst thing I've ever seen, and I wasn't pissed off watching it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of unnecessary moments, not just even in the grossness, but even in the plot in general.
If they want this to go further, they're going to have to work a little bit harder. And fuck it. If you want to bring Lin Shaye back, then have her come back as a ghost.
Yeah.
There you go. Have her work with the new psychic or whatever.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
Much more okay with that than just her passing off the reins to, I see things too, but I can't find my fucking sister.
Yes.
She's an untrained psychic. Whatever. Lin Shaye had magical fucking awesome powers at age 10.
Yes.
And apparently she had like magical cell unlocking powers in the other side as well.
Mm-hmm.
She was just like, kapow! She just held her hand out and the cell door opened and I was like, do that! Just do that! Walk by all the rooms, hold your hand out, and open all the doors.
Was a disservice because at that moment I was, okay, she's pissed now. She's about ready to wreck this dude's shit.
Uh-huh.
And then he wrecks her shit, and then the mom shows up with the lantern of banishment.
Be gone.
Gone, Key Fingers.
It just made no sense. So much of this movie made no sense.
Yes.
And I can't say that I'd recommend it, honestly.
No, I can't say so.
I mean, and unfortunately, when Insidious 5 comes out, I'll fucking watch it, because of course I will.
Oh, yeah, totally.
We've come this far.
Mm-hmm.
Why stop now?
Let's see if this is the same flat Dr. Pepper. Or let's see if it's new Coke.
Ew. Yuck. Ew. Yuck. So, did we have a what did we learn moment from Insidious?
If you're a 17-year-old girl and any paranormal investigators that are twice your age start to flirt with you like that, just leave.
Yeah, I'm about to echo that one. I pretty much learned that I guess it's okay to be a creeper if you are a paranormal investigator. So, thankfully I'm not one, so I don't need to change my occupation. But if all the creepers out there is hope for you. Just go into paranormal investigation and have really gross, hackneyed pickup lines, and you are golden. So gross. So gross.
Ew.
Yes, big ew. All right, spoilers are done. Come back from spoilers now to hear the outro. That wraps up this episode, everyone. Thank you for listening. Tell us what you thought of Insidious Key Fingers in the comments below. Did you find the creep factor as creepy as we did? I hope so, because it was really fucking creepy.
Yeah, and we're not talking about scary creepy.
Ooh, the ghosts! No, we're talking like the real life people who are
slimy creepy.
Yeah, just greasy, as they would say in Trailer Park Boys. Greasy. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. Share it with your friends or cool people who might dig the podcast. And please subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on the newest content. Speaking of, our next podcast will be on the movie Hellraiser Judgment. We are going to do that to ourselves.
Yes.
So...
And we will be judging it.
Yes, and we know what we're getting into. So... Yeah. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
So until then, once again, my name is Philip.
And I'm DJ.
And we'll be back next time to talk about the glorious Academy Award worthy movie, Hellraiser Judgment. Goodbye.
Bye.